What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Dolly Dots, and we're continuing through P.S. We Love You, 1981. Thank you as always to Chafic. And also, someone did comment on the last Dolly Dots reaction that I had skipped My Boyfriend's Back. I don't believe that was in the folder I have access to for American Dream, so if I missed something or if I didn't react to that tune and it is available, do let me know, Chafic. I'm happy to jump back and go through that, but for now we'll react to the next tune on P.S. We Love You, which is Crazy Situation. I believe this is a US only single release, and yeah, I feel like it could be any number of things. Of course, it's suggesting that it's unusual, abnormal, dangerous, or otherwise anomalous, and perhaps something that is mental, as we might have said, me and my friends in the 90s, something which is hard to comprehend and maybe not what you would think it would be. I wonder whether this situation is ongoing, whether it's being reflected upon after the fact, or whether they're talking about what could happen in the future, maybe some combination of all three. But yeah, I feel like it's likely to relate to a relationship or a psycho-emotional condition based on romance or love or something like that. It feels like that is the real core essence of a lot of their songs. I'll see what I can catch on the first listen. This is Dolly Dots. The tune is Crazy Situation, and it's a song from their 1981 album P.S. We Love You. Oh! Another really fun tune, and it's really got some driving tempo. I will say that sounds more like 80s new wave synth pop than it does disco. I don't know if you would still categorize it as disco, but with some more electronic synths, but it really feels like that's moving into the 80s with their sound. And yeah, it's fun. I love those long vocal extensions. I don't know which one of the group did those, but I really enjoyed those. They had a really rich quality to them. And yeah, like I love that section in the middle, which went a really different direction. It had a sort of more broken down, syncopated rhythm and got more sweeping and a bit more, maybe not melancholic, but the tone was different, whereas the rest of it had this bright electronic keyboard sound. That section, like, it felt a bit heavier and, again, had a slightly different rhythm, a slower rhythm. But yeah, if I'm reading the lyrics right, it seems like she has a female friend who's in a bad situation with this guy who is seemingly like leaving her behind, abandoning her, not treating her right. And the friend is saying like, look, I'm going to stimulate this because you need, how did you get into this situation? You need to get out of it, and I'm going to invigorate you, and we need to get you out of this while you can still save your reputation, which sounds like, maybe she's being cheated on or something, where like the longer she stays in it, the more unflattering it is, the more people are going to be gossiping about her, whispering, and so on. So it sounds like a very devoted friend who's saying like, look, you need to wake up, I'm going to try to motivate you in this regard, and don't forget, I'm always going to be here. Where's this guy who can do no wrong? Would suggest that maybe he is doing wrong, but the person that's being spoken to has maybe seen him in too unfavorable of a light, and is being reminded that, hey, like, I'm the one who's really here for you, so, follow what I'm saying, let's get you into a future that's better for you, and, we can continue to, share this tight bond that we have. So it sounds like a best friend kind of song, trying to help her best friend, who, again, is seemingly in a relationship that is not reciprocal, or where the guy isn't, behaving in the way that he should. So yeah, very fun, energetic. I love the electronic sounds. I was thinking during part of it, and this is a weird reference to make in a Dolly Dots reaction, but there were a couple synth lines that like sort of reminded me of that like early 80s experimental, kind of like Gary Newman type of sound. So yeah, definitely not what I would normally think of as disco, though again, my knowledge of disco is somewhat limited, and of course over the course of their catalog we've heard tunes that are more like rock and roll, we've heard tunes that do have a bit more of a ballad type sound, so there's been some variety, but this one felt very much heading into that 80s new wave type of sound, which I enjoyed. So let me know what you think. Once again, shout out to Chafic, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.